Guys, I'm Kai. I am 16 years old and I'm from Santa Cruz, California. I apologize in advance. I'm both nervous and sick, and you can hear how nasally I am right now, and I hope you can understand me. This is my first video, so also please cut me some slack. I don't really know what I'm doing. Anyway, I am making this video for a multitude of reasons. The predominant two are because when I'm finished with my FTM transition, I want to be looking back on these videos and see the progress I've made and see all of that. I think that would just be really fantastic. And secondly, because I've watched hundreds of YouTube videos at this point, of people's transition and whatnot, and it's amazing to watch, and it gives me such hope and like inspiration, and I hope that I can be those things for someone when they're watching my video someday. Anyway, so I guess I'll just say a little bit about my childhood and like past growing up, and then also what I hope to be doing in the future here pretty quick. Growing up was, I had a really weird childhood, I guess. Up until 3rd grade it was pretty normal, other than the fact I moved schools basically every year. But whatever, that was fine. But in like 3rd grade it really started to dawn on me, like, oh, people aren't just playing sports and playing house. Like, because up until then it had just been the people that play sports and the people that play house, and looking back on it, yeah, it was predominantly girls that were playing house and predominantly boys playing sports, but I never had that like gender consciousness. But around the middle of 3rd grade I really started to get that. That was when a couple of my friends were like, oh my god, I have the biggest crush on this person, I'm gonna marry him. And it just took me by surprise. Which, it did actually. It was kind of a drag, because I started getting really depressed and anxious, and I felt really like different and wrong, and just like I was incorrect because I didn't have those feelings, and I didn't want to be doing those things. I just wanted to go play football all the time, constantly. And it continued like that. I kept getting more and more different. I changed schools more and more often. It got harder and harder for me because I really wasn't taking to adolescence well at all. In 6th grade it got a lot worse, just because like body changes were starting to happen, which I was not okay with. I did not like it at all. But I mean, what trans guy does? And I tried to date this boy who, basically what we did is we held hands and talked about cars and sports. He was my best friend. He still is my best friend. But that was all we did, and we dated for like almost a year. Which is a drag for him, I guess. But anyway, so 6th grade got hard because I just like, everyone was starting to get into like serious relationships, or not serious but like real relationships, and it was hard for me to understand. Like I just like I couldn't get myself to have those feelings, and I didn't like it, and I didn't understand. I got really depressed and really anxious. Anyway, so then that continued through the rest of junior high until like the beginning of 8th grade, and someone asked me, hey, are you a lesbian? And I was like, that is exactly what I am. Even though I honestly could not say I am a lesbian, it's still weird for me to say that, even knowing like I'm just being rhetorical. But it was like, I would always say like, oh yeah, I like girls, or something like that, just because saying I am a lesbian sounded wrong to me. But I came out as that, and I started dating this girl, and it was really awesome dating her. It felt really right. And then like it started to dawn on me that something wasn't correct in our relationship. Meanwhile, I had started a GSA at my middle school, which is a gay-straight alliance, and I took to it so quickly. I guess I was really good at public speaking, and just it just clicked. So I went actually, and I started working with the diversity center and speaking at other schools and just like speaking downtown and all sorts of really awesome stuff. But at one of these like Q&A conferences that I was speaking at, someone asked me about trans issues, and prior to this, my experience with transsexuals was from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is, for those of you who don't know, a guy who wears a corset and tries to sleep with everything he sees, basically. I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't very useful when answering these questions. I also hadn't really felt comfortable like asking someone what it was. Like, I knew that I didn't know enough about it, but I just like, I had been so savvy about like all the other stuff, so I didn't really want to ask someone like, oh, what is this? Which, looking back on that was so dumb. I should have asked and saved myself a huge hassle. But anyway, so I did. I had to inquire so I could answer the question like the best that I could. And they explained to me what transsexualism was, and it, like, as they were speaking, all I could think was, that's me, you're describing me, whoa, you're describing me, this is trippy. And it clicked so perfectly. And then things did actually look up, because I was able to say like, yeah, I'm trans really easily, and it fit and I felt great. Until I felt like I needed to tell someone, because I kept feeling like I was living like this huge lie. So I came out to my best friend, who took it fantastically. Thanks, Kurt. I love you. But so as I started coming out like one person by one person, I realized how much harder it was to come out as this than it was to come out as a lesbian. I guess coming out truthfully is hard. I apologize for telling my friends to just hurry up and come out as gay or whatever, because it had been so easy for me. But anyway, so that progressed, and I continued to tell all of my friends until like the end of 8th grade year. I'm pretty sure most of my friends knew. And then at the beginning of freshman year, I told my dad, hey, this is what I'm thinking about, can we look into this together? And we did a little bit, but then it kind of got put on a back burner. And I continued to tell my friends and new friends and people until by the end of freshman year, everyone knew that wasn't directly in my family. And then I came out to my mom like 4 months ago, and at that point I told my dad, yeah, this is definitely what I'm doing, and I came out to the rest of my family, which that's a big deal, because I have I think 4 sets of grandparents. Yeah, 4 complete sets of grandparents. And then I have at least 6 aunts and uncles on my dad's side, and I have 4 on my mom's, and then I have a whole slew of other ones in Oklahoma that I haven't even met. And then all of them have kids, so I have a bunch of cousins, and I just have a massive family. But I told all of them, which is a huge deal, because a lot of them are really, really conservative and Republican and just not what you would expect to be something that I would want to tell. But they all took it really well. They had a lot of questions, and it's kind of one of those things at this point that we're just like, okay, we're just not going to bring that up. Which, you know, that's fine. They're just processing, and that'll be great. And that kind of catches you up to where I am now. I'm living out. I have been for a while. I'm totally stoked on life. But, okay, so I guess next would be to tell you like where I'm at and what I'm doing. I haven't started anything yet. I am going to start hormone blockers, estrogen blockers, in 15 days on February 13th. I am so excited. It is absolutely fantastic. Which, for those of you who don't know, hormone or estrogen blockers basically take your original hormone levels, which for a biological female, let's just call this estrogen and this testosterone. Can you see both of those? And what a hormone blocker does is, or what your hormones do, is just gradually grow and get bigger and bigger. And what hormone blockers is going to do is block this one from getting bigger, but this one will continue. So basically what it does is physically it stops you from progressing in puberty. So it makes it so that your chest isn't going to get any bigger. It makes it so your hips don't get wider. It should stop your menstruation cycle. It may actually increase growth, like taller, which that would be really cool. I wouldn't mind being taller. But anyway, so I'm really stoked to start that. My parents say not until, or my dad says not until I'm 18 can I start testosterone, which I understand why he's saying that. He's scared and he feels like he's losing his little girl. But it'll be fine. I mean, he also doesn't want me to come back when I'm like 40 and be like, why did you let a 16-year-old make this decision? So he's not really okay with me starting testosterone until I'm 18, but he's down for me starting hormone blockers, which that's awesome. I'm hoping that somewhere along the way he'll change his mind, maybe like 17 or something. I don't know. It'd be really cool. Yeah, so that's basically where I'm at. I hope that I did okay and that you can understand me through my stuffy nose. Alright. Have a great